Yo, Nemi gang, it's your boy Nemesis here, and today we're talking about Tekken 8 Season 2, more specifically the new moves coming to Season 2. So Season 2 was announced at the just ended TWT finals, and we are expecting a huge update when going into Season 2 with the addition of a bunch of new moves. Now I did touch upon this in my previous video just a bit, but I want to dive a little bit more deeper on this issue of new moves. So first I'm going to talk about what I would want to see for my mains, and from then just break down what the situation is going to be like with these new moves, my fears, and what I hope to see for the game when Season 2 does drop eventually. Okay, so let's start with my boy Raven. And to be honest, I feel as though Raven just needs more buffs than he does new moves. I think he has a bunch of moves that can be made viable with just a ton of buffs like frame data, making things a bit faster and all that jazz. But overall, if I would give Raven a new move, it would be a low in back turn. I don't understand why this character is so risky. You don't even get all that much reward, but they need to reduce his risk, and this can start by giving him a back turn low that is not launch punishable. Yes, you have back turn 4, but if back turn 4 is blocked, you are stuck in back turn, and now you put yourself in a mix-up, right? You can throw a parry, you can do power crash, but it's all these random mind games that honestly I just get tired of as Raven. I just give him a good low from back turn that's not launch punishable. As easy as that. Like, if we look at Lily, bro, Lily's back turn is way better than Raven's back turn. Like, Lily has been hella buffed in terms of her back turn. She does have that back turn 1+2, which is a -11 safe mid launcher. And honestly, I'm taking this over Raven's mids any day, like any single time. This is why Lily's back turn is very scary. And she has two back turn lows that are not launch punishable on block, like -12, -13. It's so good. Like, why not give Raven this as well? I do understand Raven has better mids, but guys, our character is just too risky. Unless they somehow buff his reward, it's just not worth it, right? Forward 4 is good, don't get me wrong, but just give him something that is not launch punishable, that doesn't put him in a mix-up situation as usual, right? And maybe something that high crashes as well. Like, this would make his back 10 way more scary. He does have that snake edge, which is good, I know, but it's LR reactable. You never see this move at high level. He does have that forward 4 3+4, the DM slide. The DM slide is mad good. Like, I don't understand it's good, but again, it's launch punishable on blocks. So just some safety would be good in Raven's back turn in terms of lows. I would also give him a good homing move. Now, this one again is kind of asking for too much because he does have down forward down, which is strong. He does have forward 3, which is good but niche. But homing move would be too much to ask for, I understand, but at least give him a back turn low that isn't all that risky. Like, this change will elevate Raven's back turn game and make his back turn game and make him a little bit more scary in back turn. Because right now, bro, like, screw Raven's back turn, bro. Like, I want Lily's back turn. Give me Lily's back turn any single day or a week. So yeah, a good low from back turn for Raven would be nice. Next up is the master of chip and drip, Leroy Jenkins. Now, Leroy mains, you guys already know what I want for Leroy. I just want a good long range move. That's all I want for this character. In terms of new moves, this is what will be priority 1 for me, because everything that Leroy has in terms of long range is very risky. He has forward 3, which is honestly useless. It's very linear, it's a high, can be easily stepped. He has forward 4, which is also linear. It's good on block, you know, it's safe, but on hit it's good, but like, it's very linear as well. Back 4 is very, very niche. Strong home move, but very niche. So I would want something long range with a forward input, just like forward 1+2. They took this away from my boy. I don't know why. Okay, lucky I do, because this character is kind of strong at close range. He has that 1-1 string. He has counter it back 1+2. So they kind of nerfed his long range, but honestly I think they went a bit too hard. Like, if you want to give him a long range move, at least buff his forward 3. Like, if they made his forward 3 homing in -9, then we are in fucking business, bro, with Leroy. If forward 3 is kinda useless right now. Like, it is only like good forward long range input. So just buffing that, making it homing -9, oh my days, W buff. But other than that, just give him another forward input if you want to buff his forward 3. Like, he already had a good power crash in Tekken 8. In Tekken 7, he had down back 1+2, which used to wall bounce. If he kept that, and just took away the bounce, he would still be good, right? So I don't understand why they made this forward 1 plus 2 a power crash, but either way, I think that would be a massive buff for Lero. Just a good long range forward input check button would be so good, man. It would be so good. Even forward 3, like just buff forward 3 Namco, please. But overall, that's what I would prioritize mostly for Lero. For a new move would be a new forward mid input. Larzu. Now, one thing I've always said about Lars is that he does not really have any Tekken 8 bullshit, like outside of DE3, but like even DE3 has some answers to it, but outside of DE3, there's nothing that Lars has that's like Tekken 8 bullshit, right? So for that, I think Lars needs a power crash hit engager. If power crash hit engagers won't be nerfed going into season 2, don't get me wrong, bro, I want them shits nerfed, I want them shits gone. But if power crash hit engagers stay in season 2, then Lars needs one of them. Like, dude, Lars' power crash is actual cheeks. His power crash is ass. It sucks so bad. You only get a guaranteed down 3, bro, and that's bad. Like, his power crash is, I don't understand how this power crash survived Tekken 8, how it came back. Like, someone make it make sense. So he does need, desperately, he does need a power crash. If not a buff, then yeah, give him a power crash hit engager, maybe a safe high, like the stupid safe high hit engagers, or something minus 14, but it's a power crash hit engager. He does have a good power crash whilst in hit, Rebellion, hella strong, but of course it costs your hit gauge, so not as worth it as going for your LE mix-ups whilst in hit. So a power crash hit engager would be awesome on Lars. Like, he's a very risky character, he's very linear, currently very weak considering how strong everyone else is, so this buff would do him mad justice. But in the case that power crash hit engagers are gone, one thing I would want for Lars is just, I don't know, some versatility in his stances, a bit more counterplay, maybe a bit more power crashes in his stances, especially dynamic entry. SE does have SE4, so even DE would be nice with the power crash. If I'm not mistaken, he doesn't have a power crash in DE, right? So yeah, a DE power crash would be nice as well. But other than that, I think priority should be a good power crash. If they don't buff his power crash, give him an awesome power crash. And lastly, we have my boy Steve Foxuru. Now with Steve, we have seen a new move from the trailer. I don't exactly know what this is. It looks like a new hit smash. Also looks low-key like a string that comes from his pickable forward 1 plus 2. Like, I don't really know what this is, but I think it looks like a new hit smash, bro. So we already know he's getting some kind of move. We don't know what it is exactly, but if I had a choice to give Steve a new move, I would give him a new homing move. Like, Steve striking in Tekken 8 is actually bad, guys. It was nerfed really bad. Of course, it took away down forward 2. Up back 2 is strong. Like, up back 2 is an amazing move, but it's a high. And side step duck is very efficient against Steve, because a side step duck, bro, like, how is Steve gonna launch you if you do side step duck? Like, how, right? Doesn't really have any hard hitted mids. Side step duck is very, very effective. You basically use up back 2, use down 2, and you use back 1 as your tracking moves with Steve. So a new homing move would be pretty nice with this character. He did have his old forward 1 plus 2 back in tag 2. It was a very niche move. I think that's why it was removed. But honestly, I would have that like right now. Honestly, with what Steve has in terms of tracking moves, look, I would give anything to have Tekken tag 2 forward 1 plus 2 tracking move that Steve. For example, I think it was high mid, which took him into pickable. If you held forward, you also had a third follow up. So it was niche, but it was alright. Other than that, I think Steve is pretty good, honestly. Outside of maybe a few buffs, I think he's in a good place. Okay, so these are just my mains. What moves would you want to see for your characters? I know I cover a bunch of characters on my channel. I've covered Brian, I cover Lo, I've done Alisa, we've done Asuka, right? We've done King. So I can't show love to all of these because that would be a long ass video. So I tend to focus on my mains, not to make you guys feel left out, but like, you know, it is what it is. So what would you guys love to see for your mains? Okay, now outside of that, let's talk about the most important thing about the new moves coming in Tekken 8 Season 2. So in my previous video, we did talk about my fear of Season 2 moves. Everyone has PTSD of Tekken 7 Season 3, where everyone was given absurd amount of war carry moves and just made the game very generic. Like, everyone had godlike war carry. Like, did you see what they did to Lars, bro? Lars had insane walkery. Master Raven, insane walkery. They gave Feng fucking walkery, bro. Feng had one of the weakest walkeries in Tekken history, and they buffed that man with insane walkery. And look at him now, still has one of the best walkeries in the game. So that's a fear that I have for Tekken 7, for Tekken 8 Season 2. Something similar might happen. Of course, we've seen moves that already look scary. We've seen, what's her name? The coffee girl, Azucena. She's been given a new law that takes her into stance. That is an insane buff. Like, that's very, very strong. Now, not to the degree of like walkeries, of course that makes them generic, but that looks like just a huge character buff, which again is good. Remember, we were talking about buffing low tiers and nerfing top tiers, or at least nerfing the top tiers first before buffing the low tiers. But like that Azucena buff just looks absurd. It looks very, very strong. So that's a biggest fear. Again, these low tiers might be buffed to a state where we do have the situation we have right now, where the top tiers are like insanely strong. So that's something that scares me a lot, like a lot. We saw stuff like Law getting a new float move for his combos with the new nunchuck move, the same for Po as well, which scares me again, because again that goes to adding characters, giving characters big war carry potential as well as long as combos. Now, you might make the argument that a lot of characters do have these floaty moves, like Claudio 212, Nina down back 2, so maybe every character in the game should have that. I do understand, I can't really argue about that, but like, do we really want that for the game, guys? Do we really want those long ass combos for every character in the game? Like, just think about it, because that adds to everyone's war carry again, right? So it's kind of scary. It's low-key very, very scary. Feng seems to have maybe a hit smash buff, so either it's a second hit smash or a hit smash buff. So again, that's scary, because hit smashes are stupid strong in this game. Like, if hit smashes are not changed, hit smashes interacting with wall interactables like flow blast, wall break, hard balcony break, I think that should be nerfed. And hit smashes are also strong, that even if you whiff a hit smash and it has a second hit, it will still prioritize over something like a parry or an armor move if you try to whiff punish them, right? So hit smashes need to be nerfed. So if we see Feng getting buffed like this, it scares me. Like, unless somehow hit smash has been nerfed as well, that is something scary to think about. That's something to think about as well. But other than that, I think new moves will add more dynamic to the game. So another aspect people are talking about is that it's too early for them to add new moves in the game. Like, it's only the second season, and I feel as though there's a ton of balance that still needs to be done in this game. They just released Clive, for Christ's sake, and Clive already seems like he needs a few balance changes, like 4+2, he's back 2, stuff like that. So again, going into season 2 with new moves, does that mean Clive also gets new moves in season 2? If you think about it, because he's new, right? He's new, but it's Tekken 8 season 1. So he might get a new move as well in Tekken 8 season 2, which is scary as fuck to think about, bro. Like, why? So yeah, I think that's where my mind is when it comes to like new moves in Tekken 8 season 2. It's too early. It is way too early. Way too early. And it just pisses me off, because we need to nerf the top tiers, but like the top tiers are now getting new moves, bro. Like Dragunov is getting a new move. Just think about Yoshi is getting a new move. King, bro, Alisa, they're all getting new moves. And we've seen some of them are like mad strong, like Azucena's Law. So imagine giving that shit to Drag again. It's scary, bro. Shit scares me. But again, I'm kind of excited for the low tiers. Most of my characters are low tiers, but Raven low tier. Leroy considered a bit low, mid to low tier, right? Lars low tier. Steve is top tier. I mean, Steve is, high tier at least. But like most of my characters are low to mid tier, so I'm excited for that. At the same time, I'm scared for like top tiers getting new shit as well. So it's kind of crazy to think about. But honestly, this is just speculation. Maybe we will get a massive balance update that fixes a lot of stuff in the game. Maybe tones down the top tiers as well. So maybe I'm just being too paranoid. And the best thing we can do right now is wait and see what season 2 has in store for us. So how do you feel about season 2 new moves, my boys? Do you feel it's too early? Do you feel the fears are not warranted? We're just being paranoid? Talk to your boy. How are you feeling about Clive, by the way? I've been seeing so many Clives online. It's been something, bro. How do you feel about him? Is it too strong? I'll make a separate video on this, but like there's so much discussion about Clive so far. People are saying he's mid, bad lows. Others are saying he's like too OP range. How do you feel about the character? So anyway guys, that's something I wanted to talk about. I really hope you enjoyed my video. If you made it this far, don't forget to like, subscribe, that subscribe button, and thank you so much for your support. It's been amazing. I am hella grateful. So thank you boys. More Tekken stuff coming, so look out for that. So GG my boys, I mean the frame data be ever in your favor.